You're watching the Tesla Life live with your host, Mark Coughlin.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tesla Life number 450, which, of course, what's today? It's the 11th of February.
That's right.
2026. Real close to Valentine's Day. This is your first and only warning. So if you need to remember Valentine's Day, write it down now because it's coming up this weekend.
Send us some hearts. If you're in the app, click hearts.
And welcome to those in the chat room. Derek, Highlander, Lee Moon have all joined us and said hello. And if you're out there, please give us a hello in the chat if you can. With that said, I will introduce my two co-hosts today. As always, Mr. Casey Green joins us from an undisclosed location in the Mid-Atlantic. And apparently he's got a unicorn with him. How are you doing today, sir?
That night?
Yeah, they hear you. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Had a successful day, and she's got her microphone, but I did not yet get to go digging in the closet to get the cable to go with it.
Oh my gosh! So she's got her own microphone. That is scary. Look out! We're gonna have some comments. I'm sure she's gonna comment on many things.
Yes, she will. She's got a Heil, and then there's also a Zoom, but this one's directional, so it should also be good at rejecting server noise like mine is.
Nice.
Very good. Also with us, as per usual, Mr. Patrick Connor joins us from the West Coast. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. It's a lovely 14C here, so nice day.
Mid-February, 14 degrees. Yeah, that's nice. Absolutely. Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
We're starting to get a little bit of a warming trend, so we're getting highs now of -2 and -1. And that is much better than -25, let me tell you.
Yes, that does sound much better. Yeah, for the description for the day, it said cool and comfortable. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's just like my wardrobe. Cool and comfortable.
Very good, very good. Well, let's get to the news of the week. We've got a bunch of it, and we're going to start off with the Tesla Semi, as it apparently nears completion, because we're getting a number of reports out about the specifications, the stats of the vehicle, and there's some speculation on the pricing even. But let's start with some specs.
Mark, there's no point, because obviously this is fake news, because Bill Gates is one of the smartest people in the world, and he said this is not possible, so this is all fake, obviously.
So we just throw this story away because Bill says that it was never going to happen?
But I mean, Bill keeps good company. You know, he runs in the same circle as Elon, so you know.
Man, they went through a lot of trouble and expense for a thing that's just not going to happen. Let me tell you, building their own plant, getting it up and operational, putting all the equipment in place.
Musk is
carrying the name upside down with his eyewear.
Talk about playing the long game on this hoax, because they've really pulled out all the stops on this thing. So apparently we're going to have two versions of the vehicle on start, and the difference between the two of them basically is going to be mileage, so the number of batteries that are in the vehicles. So, for example, they've indicated that, of course, both are using the MCS 3.2 standard. So the charging speeds are going to be the same relatively based on the amount of batteries that they have in them. There will be, as mentioned, two different packs. One will be able to traverse 300 miles and the second 400 miles. They're both saying that they'll be able to add a significant amount of range within 30 minutes, enough to cover a driver's break. And they will also be charging up to that peak of 1.2 megawatts, as shown in a few videos recently. So the other thing, of course, that will make these two models slightly different is going to be their overall weight. If you add a significant amount more batteries, you're obviously going to be carrying more weight on that vehicle in those battery packs. And the difference between the two is about 3,000 pounds. So 20,000 pounds for the regular long range vehicle and 23,000 pounds for the, the standard long range model weighs less than 20,000 pounds, while the long range comes in at 23,000. And
just carrying around a Model 3 for extra capacity, no big deal.
Yep. And if you're curious, the 23,000 pounds is in line with many typical diesel Class 8 trucks. So it's a little bit higher, but not much. And of course, we heard early, way before the factory even started to be built, that the Department of Transport was going to change the rules for electric vehicles to allow them to haul, I think it was 2,000 extra pounds over a regular diesel truck, which will make up for the extra weight that the vehicle is carrying in the cab portion or the semi portion. What else is interesting is that we don't know this, but of course, how fast will they roll out? When will the green light appear? We're really not sure, although with them updating the website and releasing these stats officially, I've got to believe that we're getting real close. Tesla had originally said they thought they would have the plant starting to spool up at the very beginning of 2026. And then partway into 2025, they backed that off a little bit and saying it's probably going to be end of first quarter 2026 area, maybe second quarter. So we're now getting to the point here mid-February that we've got like 6 weeks left in the first quarter. And I think with the release of this information and the speculation of some pricing that's even come out, that we're probably getting real close to launching of the first units. And what do we got on the pricing? It's not official pricing that Tesla has released. Instead, it is something that many are speculating on it based on the size of the battery pack that has been reported. But the speculation out there is that the pricing is going to be for the long-range pack somewhere in the area of about $290,000, $280,000, and for the other vehicle, the shorter run vehicle, you're looking at about $260,000 to $250,000, somewhere in that range. So again, there's going to be, I don't even know if Tesla will actually post the price on the website. Since this is not a consumer vehicle, this is for industry, I'm wondering if Tesla will just allow people that are interested to fill out the web form and submit it. And then pricing will be discussed maybe independently of that, and maybe they won't publish it on their website.
A few people have got quotes of about 10% extra, I believe they said, over the original after inflation, if I'm remembering correctly.
So inflation plus 10%.
Mm-hmm. So not terrible, but it is higher. Just like every other launch where they gave us a price ahead of time.
And I think Tesla's learned their lesson after the inflation got out of control and the pricing went insane on the Cybertruck. And of course, this is, I think they originally said it was going to be around 200,000. So it definitely has gone up. But if we look what happened to the Cybertruck and the price of inflation across the board, I'm not too surprised about that. But as we've said on this show previously, that the decision to buy this vehicle, I I think it's going to be a lot easier for the groups that have interest in it, because it's going to be purely an accounting decision. You've got fleets that understand how much these vehicles cost to operate. They operate them every day, every hour. They understand what the cost of diesel is. They understand the fluctuation price of diesel, how it affects the end game. And they're going to look at, okay, what can we get electricity for? We've got a vehicle that can get either 500 or 300 miles per charge. It's going to cost us X to fill it up with electricity based on where our assets are, or where we get our electricity from, or who we have a deal with. And they're going to compare that to the price of diesel that's currently in their own fleets. And it's going to be a real easy black and white decision to say, here we are. We're making the choice based on, we're getting charged X, we can get charged Y if we pick the electric route. And of course, there are some deals for state, I guess, credits that are available to some for purchasing an electric semi over a gasoline vehicle. So that will weigh into their conversations as well. But at least I think Tesla has a solid ground to bring people on board because of the white papers they've already put out there with the fleets that are already using the vehicle and have all basically submitted glowing tests or trials that they've done with the vehicle. If not, they continue to do it. And of course, a number of them have upped their orders for vehicles that they want to see off the assembly line as well. So that's good to hear. And again, when they will start rolling it out as the first vehicles, I'm going to say, I'm going on a limb, I really don't know, but my guess would be that we're probably looking at, I'm going to say mid-April is the start of this.
Oh, wow. That's pretty soon.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
They're not far away at all. Springtime, I think they want to get this rolling. And again, they're not going to be putting out 50,000 vehicles this year. There's a ramp up when you start an assembly line, and there are all sorts of problems and hiccups that you'll come in contact with when you start to roll an assembly line, and Tesla has to fix those on the fly. So there's going to be a ramp up like any other new vehicle that Tesla has made or new factory that they've opened. And that is the same situation here for the semi.
Yeah, Derek says on April Fool's Day. So if they do have their Roadster event in April, one of the things they could say, and here's the first semi off the line, is just a little,
that would be a
addition.
plus, being able to say that for sure.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be a big event. This is something that, and I wonder how they're going to introduce it to the world. Is it going to be its own little televised event that they will broadcast? Hopefully so, because I think it deserves the press that it's going to get. If you've seen some of the other electrification options that are available from the legacy diesel truck makers, you'll notice that their pricing is much higher already, and the mileage that those vehicles get for their battery packs is lower. So Tesla is certainly coming in with a game changer based on the offerings that are currently out there from the others, like Volvo or Kenworth or Peterbilt, Western Star. Those are all of them are getting into the electrification game, but you'll see that their first offerings, they have nothing to draw upon, whereas Tesla has all the experience of already going through this with regular cars and the Cybertruck. They certainly have the ability to fall back upon what they know and what they've learned over the past decade plus of experience that they've gotten.
Oh yeah, and the legacy manufacturers are not going to get the volume discounts on battery cells that Tesla gets for sure when they're making mega packs and all the vehicles and everything else.
And like we've seen with Legacy Auto, these guys are going to be buying parts off the shelf from different suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Patrick said, they're not making their own stuff. They're not dialed in yet. They could get to that point if they're invested in this game deeply. But at the beginning, they're just stuck buying from Bosch or anybody else that's selling parts that they believe will work in their equation of their electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, that's kind of interesting. We'll certainly keep our eye on the pricing if it's changing or more gets published by Tesla. We'll certainly report on that. But as Casey mentioned, a few have come in with quotations that are pointing it around the 290, 260 area or 10,000 less for each of those models. So it is something that we'll keep our eye on, but that seems to be what is going to be happening. Very good. Next, I'm sure Mr. Supercharger has heard about this, but there has been some updates on the mapping that Tesla has started to do, which we thought was an interesting project when we first heard about it, where they were showing different locations with an actual site map of the individual stalls and what was available and what was taken up. So actually, I can share a photo here. Let's do that. So this is the diner that they've done here, and you can see the different stalls highlighted in, I am assuming blue means they're open spots, and the image of a car that's white and shaded grayish is showing vehicles that are currently plugged in.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's correct. Just because when you're going through a parking lot, the spots where you can park show up as blue like that, and then if you tap it, it'll park in that spot.
So that's going to work with FSD, that you'll be able to select a spot maybe, and the vehicle will head that in that direction and park for you if you're in FSD.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so that's good. Again,
they are working on the reservation system too, right? So maybe it'll even reserve it for some time window, just so it, like on other people's vehicles, it'll show up as gray or something, so they can't select it.
That definitely could be the case as it goes along. I have noticed that they're picking California locations, obviously staying close to home at this point. But they've started to branch this out. So, for example, the diner's on it: Kettleman City, Culver City, San Clemente, Cabazon, Gilroy, California, Diamond Bar, California, and more. But they all seem to be within California at this particular point. So, not sure where they're going to get out of California, but they are adding to the list. Originally, it was just a handful, and now they've increased that number dramatically.
I was surprised to see that they didn't already have the diner in there, but it's good to see they're putting more sites in there, and it seems a little bit too manual, but it's not like they're not opening dozens of sites a day.
And of course, even if you're not in FSD, so if you're driving a vehicle that's not a Tesla, for example, but has the NACS connector, of course, as soon as you plug in to a blue spot, it becomes immediately reflective that even though you don't have FSD, it's going to change the icon and indicate that that particular space has now been taken.
I wonder how it does with, or is it not yet available for the Charge My Non-Tesla sites?
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking, is if they have this feature, they're going to roll it out in their app as well, and then anybody who's using that to charge will get the same visibility.
Yeah. Sorry if my sound changed in the middle there. Moto's headphones were both mute, and it won't let me do it on the computer screen because there's a firmware update, but we're not going to do that till the show's recorded. And
yeah, that's all right.
And then at some point, I guess when I tried to adjust her volume, it freaked the microphone. So,
so it so this is expanding, and I think the versatility of it is the initial part of it has been explored, but I also can believe that Tesla is going to be playing with this as time goes along. And as Patrick mentioned, maybe the reservation system is going to allow you to pick a particular site in the future. Although I would have to say that it would probably make sense for them not to allow you to pick a specific spot. Just that it would roll up and park in the first available or the easiest to get into quickly spot, as opposed to I want site number 43.
With two exceptions, I would definitely want to see them have an allowance for the ADA spots as well as the towing spots or bicycle rack spots, as the case may be per site.
Yeah, trailer spots.
Yeah, pull-throughs or whatever. If that's what if you're hauling, you should definitely have priority for those spots.
Yeah. And of course, those would be the last to be filled if there was nobody with trailers, but all the spots were being filled up, then you would leave those empty as long as possible. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll see if they start rolling outside of California, but it's good news to see that they're at least expanding this particular option, and hope to see that in our neck of the woods shortly. Next, we've got a story about, I guess, a name dispute that is happening with CyberCab. Robotaxi name. Tesla has been trying to lock the CyberCab name down, and they're having difficulty because of other taxi companies and how they perceive the market based on the naming convention of what a taxi is. So it seems that Tesla has had to bring up a secondary plan that will force them to pick something like cybervehicle or cybercar as alternatives, which Tesla now has locked down both of those options. But I was kind of surprised that they couldn't pick CyberCab and keep it, because initially they looked into, is the name available? And of course they made the move to try to lock that down and move forward with their marketing. And it seems now that that's not something that they can actually do everywhere.
Well,
yeah,
in some jurisdictions, it's illegal to call yourself a taxi unless you have a medallion or a cab. And then, of course, Musk had to go and throw out the two terms that weren't yet registered. And amazingly, the legal team was able to get it within about 46 seconds of him saying it on the conference call to file the papers.
So that's
kudos to them.
So the issue is that they can't use it because a cab or a taxi indicates that you have a medallion and you're that type of a transportation system.
Yeah,
which
a medallion
I guess
or
Tesla is not.
right, and they also haven't passed the taxi test in London, for instance, so they can't use it there.
Mm.
At least not as is. So they've got some stuff to work with that. But the way that the vehicle font, I liked that it was kind of symmetrically looking. The way that they put it out in the clip you put in the notes, but at the same time, a little too generic, even for a company that can't be bothered to put real pictures of their cars for 7 years on the website.
Yeah, it's you're right. It's more generic, and really, it is interesting that, as mentioned, that they've gone this far, and they'll have to kind of back up and start over again.
Yeah, they even lost the dispute. They tried to trademark robotaxi. That was deemed too generic of a term. That was more of a description that's become common language, and so they didn't. They couldn't use that. So they're they keep missing out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought for sure that CyberCab would work, but because that didn't have that same problem, it had the specific cyber term. But then the other part of that word got them. And I'm surprised that when I was looking through this list, it would have been interesting if they did cyber ride. And because cyber is with a Y, they could do ride with a Y. So just CYD or RYD ride. I think that would be a cool name. But whatever, I don't know. They'll come up with something eventually.
Yeah, it's going to be called Popsicle Ride, just to throw everyone off the trail.
Right. No one saw that coming. And then, Lemonade will sue them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that's a flavor of popsicle.
About 8 years ago, I grabbed Nimbus rides. So.
Nimbus.
Yeah, cloud. Right on a cloud, baby.
Yeah. I see.
So it's kind of interesting that that they've gone this far, but which makes me wonder what their legal staff is doing. If they, did they have to get some rulings? They, and assumed they were going to get it, so they just moved forward with it, and then found out down the road that sorry, taxi is a term that's too generic, or it's indicated it's something else. They didn't try Johnny Cab, which I was surprised. Which maybe the movie Total Recall would have sued them on that one. So
did they sue them over the movie posters? If so, then that'd be a harder one for them to get. But I do like Lazier, not a taxi, and Islander said E-Ride's taken. But they could have done something a little less generic. I'm curious though if perhaps maybe they were actually working on it and move fast and break things, went out and showed their hand before they were ready.
Yeah, like you said, Casey, during the earnings call, Elon just piped up and said two terms immediately that were not taken, were available still at that particular point. And I'm wondering, why would you do that? Like, that's just, it's something like an afterthought of what, maybe I shouldn't say that on a live mic at this point when I'm broadcasting to millions of people.
Mark, are you China? Don't filter me.
Especially when they've been burned with like Tesla-Kila, there was disputes over that.
Yeah.
And then because of that dispute, I think it was Unibev. Don't quote me on that. But when after CyberCab, when Musk mentioned it, they tried to apply for that trademark first, just because they already had trademark disputes. It was a way to try to do a what is it called, a land grab, or there's something. It's exactly like that. Yeah, so Musk should know better.
He should know a lot of things, but the results are overall positive. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so it must. I could just imagine if you're part of the team, you're sitting in legal, you're listening to the earnings call, going, "Okay, what's going to happen this time?" Like we have to have all hands on deck. Everyone's working real hard because who knows what is going to be said during an earnings call, and they had to
Right.
scramble last quarter.
It's like the
they should have an application like 99% filled out, and as soon as he says something, just type it in and send.
Yeah.
Anybody else can.
it's like the stories you hear about how when Steve Jobs would jump on an elevator. Oh, I forgot my pocket protector. I'll be right back. Everybody gets out.
Exactly. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that that was held up at this point. So we'll have to see how that's going to affect if they're going to choose. They got to choose one name, right? They can't say it's Cyber Vehicle or it's Cybercar. They got to choose one. You can't go out with multiple and use them interchangeably.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part of it all. Is like it's going to be this or this, and then in some markets that. Like if some markets is like another country, okay, different over there, but the some markets sounded like in New York City it's not going to be called this, but in Chicago it's not going to be called that, and in Idaho it's going to be called what we've already been telling you.
Right. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they're saying that, you know what, for Cybercar would be great everywhere except for Germany. We're going to have a problem with that. Well, then we need Cyber Vehicle in Germany, and everybody else is Cybercar. I guess that could be
kind of a whole Duracell bunny versus Energizer bunny situation, or maybe not even that bad. You got a Tylenol versus paracetamol. You would expect that sort of large differences, not. What do I call this thing? I want the yellow thing to show up and take me to the play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see how the marketing gets changed. Speaking of marketing, I don't know if you guys took in the Super Bowl at all, but one of the commercials there, I thought, hey, here comes a commercial for Tesla. It's got to be. No, it turns out Starlink got their first nice. Super Bowl ad, and it was interesting that SpaceX pulled the trigger on that, especially with what we know with Musk and his detesting of advertising in most cases. But Starlink did it, and that was the first Tesla connected company to advertise in such a big way.
Yeah. We were grocery shopping and wondering why it was so friction-free, and found out why.
On Sunday, huh?
Well, not just Sunday, but the big game.
Yeah, you must not have been going for wings or Doritos.
Yeah, because those places were full.
Right. So I wonder if this ad for Starlink has anything to do with SpaceX's upcoming IPO.
It must.
You want to get your name brand recognition out there before a big IPO, just to encourage retail investors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also apparently, according to some of the Starlink socials that I'm on, they raised the prices for the mini and the residential dishes by $50, pushing them back up from all-time lows. My mini still hasn't shipped yet.
And another thing that maybe is contributing to the IPO as well is that I guess it was about 5 days ago, SpaceX started to turn off illegal connections of Starlink that were operating in countries that were not okay to do so. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the Russian army has been using Starlink for quite some time, and SpaceX clamped down on these illegal terminals and turned them off.
They went a step further, though,
because it would not work anymore, and they also are now keeping an eye on where units start up and what geography they're in. And they will not allow certain ones to come onto the network, even if they have a proper code.
Yeah, they went a step further, though, and it's kind of a manual activation process, basically. You go in, you prove that you're Ukrainian, and they'll let you turn your dish on, and if you report it stolen, they turn it off, and If it's just a new kit, it's got some hoops to jump through, which is, I think, the right way to handle it versus the damage that could be done, both physically and also just switching back into that lawyer corporate, the brand damage of, oh, you're just letting the Russians willy nilly use your system even though they're not supposed to. They got more aggressive about turning it off in other zones, as you mentioned, and they kind of changed the terms a little bit. If you're on the mobile plan, the roam, you get a certain amount of roaming data bucket per year now, and then once you're over that, you kind of have to change your plan, basically.
And those things contribute to an IPO, definitely, because once you're an IPO and you're a public offering, you're going to have more scrutiny put onto the company as to what you do and how you operate. And if the public determines that you're doing something that doesn't connect with public sensibilities, you are going to pay that price in like, for example, groups that won't buy your stock. They won't hold it in their portfolios. Yep. They will sell it, and that can provide a risk for investors that are in it.
Yep, and in China, if you sail into their territorial waters now with the Starlink active, well, it's not going to be pleasant for you. They used to have the argument, oh well, you can't tell who's using what or whatever, but now you want to make sure it's going to have a physical off switch, and you maybe put a padlock on it or something while you're in their waters,
because they don't want you using it in their territorial waters at all.
Yeah, and I think it starts out as a hefty fee, and then I don't know how they escalate from there. So it's not worth finding out.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, Derek. Tesla rides has not been trademarked.
Look at that. Derek's about to get into the game.
$1, Bob, $1.
And another story about another country, Canada, of course, as you might have heard.
You might know some people from there.
You might know some people. They have instituted a new EV credit on the federal side. There's now a $5,000 credit available for people that are buying a vehicle that's $50,000 or less. But the rules have changed a little bit. And what has changed here is that the number is now 50,000, which includes all extra fees, air conditioning, tire fees, delivery fee. All of it has to be 50,000 or less.
Oh.
And that makes no vehicles that Tesla has in the country right now, which is basically only the two Model Ys, the Model Y formerly known as Standard and the Model Y Premium. Those are the only two vehicles sold in the country at this point because of tariffs. And the formerly known as Standard, its start price is just $10 under $50,000. So it's still another about $2,000, $2,300 extra for the delivery fee, the other fees that are associated with selling of a car. So at this point, nothing applies for this, can apply for this credit for Tesla, which begins on the 16th of February. So
I'm feeling they'll fix that real quick.
That might happen. Tesla has been known to look at regional credits that are available and make adjustments to pricing just before it takes effect. So that is something that we may see come Sunday or Monday of this coming week.
Hopefully not another permanent battery lockout, but maybe an optional battery lockout.
Well, even if they do an optional battery lockout as before, what they did is they said, as long as you have one model that's under the price, you can get upgrades and still be part of the program. Well, that's not part of this anymore.
Oh, man.
It is, you get underneath the 50,000, whatever vehicle you're buying has to be under the 50,000. So it doesn't matter if there's another price point. Well, I only added $1,200 for a paint color. Nope, doesn't matter. Has to
Enjoy
be
your
under
paint.
50,000. So that's all there is going to be.
I'm curious if it seems to be more modeled after the original one where you had the 100-mile Model 3 and you couldn't upgrade it. Just like that guy who got burned by buying the Hyundai that he saw on the dealer lot and didn't realize it was Hyundai's version of that.
Yeah. Well, I think what the government is looking at now that it's had, they had like 3.5 years under the previous program, which was called IZEV. That program ended last year when the fund ran out of money. But what they realized is that we're trying to get cars to come down in value, not go up.
Price, yeah.
We're trying to get that retail price to be more affordable to Canadians, and therefore we're going to put a price that's down from the 55,000 that we put in the previous one, and we're going to tighten the screws on some of the details because we saw how it was used by other companies during that 3.5 years. So they're just they're trying to make sure that everything is lined up nicely and we're heading in the right direction with companies not gouging. They're actually competing with others on that level.
Well, plus the incentives do come from the common kitty.
Yep.
Yes, there's others that need to get inspected a little closer, but that's not how politics works, unfortunately. So they have to have a very tight rope to balance on, where they've got to actually make the cars more affordable because having them out there is good for the public, and they don't want to pay for your upgrade from white paint to red paint.
Another rumor with this new credit that's coming up is that the Canadians are going to give the Chinese brands the ability.
I was going to ask if the Chinese
credit.
qualify for this.
They do not qualify. It's only with countries that Canada has a free trade agreement with. So the Europeans, the U.S., and some others. Germany, for example, part of the European Union, but different countries have a free trade agreement with Canada, and those are the ones that qualify. China does not have a free trade agreement with Canada, therefore their cars do not qualify.
So they are just formerly known as NAFTA, and we call it USMCA for some reason, and you guys call it CM.
We call it the CUSMA.
CUSMA.
And the Mexicans call it something else. So, yeah.
I wonder who they put after them. It's got to be start with them over there.
Yeah, it's got to start with an M, definitely. Yeah. Well, with that said, it will be interesting to see as of the 16th of this month what happens there, and certainly we'll report upon that. If you want to see what's happening in between shows, of course, you can follow us on our Twitter feed, our X feed at the Tesla Life. You can follow us there. With that said, I think we've covered the news that we had put in to cover. If anyone's got a question out there in the chat room, feel free to put it in there. And as we go to shoutouts, we'll examine that. So, Casey, what do you got for shoutouts for us?
Well, we've got our Tesla Life Expresses. Make sure you're subscribed and have the bell turned on for that. On Sunday, you've got Let's Chat with Casey and Friends. And who knows what other surprises we might have for you along the way. Very good. Patrick?
Hello. As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels, and we'll be talking about one of those articles a little later in the week.
Excellent.
Very good. Very good. Oh, there's Lee Moon commenting in. He took a 230 mileage road trip, asked Brock that he wanted some ice cream. It directed him to a Dairy Queen along the route. Stopped for a burger, a sweet tea, a milkshake. He says FSD is doing better.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. I thought he was going to say it told him to go 230 miles to get ice cream.
Also, I told Brock that's all for now. The Brock window turns off. I don't remember doing that before. If they had gone with Warner Brothers and beep, 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 that's all, folks.
And Derek told Grok to request a pay increase. And I'm curious, Derek, what was the answer? What did Grok respond to you when you said you should ask for pay?
And speaking of FSD, you guys might know that my wife doesn't drive. We were traveling somewhere, and FSD was active, and she didn't like where we were going anymore, even though she picked the place. And all of a sudden, the car is doing a U-turn because while I was checking out a red light or a pedestrian or something, she'd redone the map.
Oh, on the fly.
Yes.
Now you actually do have a passenger seat driver.
I do.
Yeah, I guess that changes the paradigm there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it is interesting that we've got a story about FSD that's coming up in one of our Express shows this week. So be sure to be on the lookout for that, which will happen in a few days. Oh, awesome. There's Derek. He say he will add it to the chat. He'll add chat to the Grok reply. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess Grok already gets, you have to have premium connectivity. So, I mean, Grok already gets paid some portion of your $10 a month.
we should ask it, what is getting paid?
Yeah, that's
what should get paid, Grok? Yeah.
It's not where FSD ignored every seat limit sign. Oof. That's not good. Oh, mine tried to race a freaking cop last night.
I
was like,
that's not a good idea.
Slow down. It wasn't slowing down enough. And so I just hit the brake and just let them zoom on by. They changed lanes like they were scoping me out in the window. I was like, oh. Thankfully, they kept going straight and we turned right.
I've had it pull over for emergency vehicles twice now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's finally doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
because before you had to take over because it was just ignore them.
Yeah, same thing we had with the U-turns on version old. It would be like, oh, we need to make a U-turn ahead. Oh, I can't do this. You do it for me. And now it's like, it has to be the worst of U-turns before it's like, I'm going to take a crack at this. And other times you're like, all right, I'm going to do this one because Model X, well, it's not the best turner in drive. It's even worse in reverse. So that probably has something to do with why Harbor 3 is not allowed to go backwards yet.
Oregon is weird about U-turns. So in most places, if there's room, you can make a U-turn. In most states, in California, you can make a U-turn everywhere except where it says you can't. Well, here in Oregon, it's the opposite. You can only U-turn where it says you explicitly can.
I think Jersey's probably that way too, because they got all those jug handles.
So it's gotten wrong a couple of times where it's like, oh, just go here and make a U-turn. Like, no, you can't make a U-turn there. There's no sign allowing that.
It makes more sense to have the sign only indicate where you can, because of course that's going to require less signs. So
yeah, that's true.
So the exceptions where you can do it, put the sign. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Grok said, "Thanks for looking out for me."
That's good, Derek. All right. Well, that said, everyone, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. It helps us out immensely. If you're here this long, you must like what you're seeing. So help us out. Press that thumbs up and press that subscribe. And we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
Stay positive. Test negative.
Thanks for the music, Lee Moon.